Come along, restart the chat, and come on, Benny. There we go.
Benny Goodman and his orchestra.
Hey, Chris. Hey, everybody. Morning, Martin and Karen. Today's the day I shampoo my hair so it never looks like I like it to. Hey, Cindy in the Trois. Hey, Todd. Hey, John.
From the Georgia Bourbon Room, the Congress Hotel in the city of Chicago, we bring you music by Benny Goodman and his orchestra, stylized swing rhythm. And here's the first one called Remember.
Hey, Mona. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Gene. See you soon. See quite a few of you soon, I think. Hey, John, we were down on the floor, which is actually not as good of a view. You can't really see when they're all huddled around on the front stage. But great show. I thought it was actually quite a bit better than he was in Milwaukee a few months ago. He was singing a lot better. Morning, Todd. Hey, Susan. Good morning all around. Kind of an early start for a Sunday today. Just gonna work quick because we gotta head out to Rosehill. Like, the weather is favorable though. Hey, Todd. I fear my machine is frozen. I'll get everything all at once in a second. Susan, indeed. Karen, good luck at the surgeon tomorrow, then. Which sunglasses am I taking today? These ones, I think. Yeah. All right. Hey, Gail. Eli, did you enjoy Bruce?
Of course. Great show.
Eli, I got Eli back on the couch. Oh, there's at least one place to make him sing at Rosehill, so. Now this is the hat Eli has had for about 20 years. So yeah, he got a hat. We thought about buying one, then we figured, let's just go home for a bit. Among a long run of record store shops yesterday. Like, have I ever seen an album in a window that was more of an immediate purchase than Playboy's Penthouse with Cy Coleman Orchestra? Great album. Cy Coleman wrote Why Try to Change Me Now? He doesn't play it on here, but it would actually work very well. I think it fits the theme. And we were listening to music from Peter Gunn this morning, which better remembered for its music than the show itself, which is kind of slow. Had a lot of potential. Also, a Dave Brubeck 10-inch. I'm a sucker for 10 inches with great covers. And while I was at it, Jazz Party in stereo in Ellington that I enjoyed digitally but hadn't had on vinyl. And this is not the same as Duke Ellington's Reminiscences of the Big Band Era, but it's got some of the same kind of songs. This is Recollections of the Big Band Era. Or the other one he did is called Will Big Bands Ever Come Back? Which has Duke doing Rhapsody in Blue. What else did I score yesterday? Another Dave Brubeck, Jazz Impressions of New York. And a bunch of Stan Kenton records. Stan Kenton is kind of underrated these days, but I needed some new mood music. I feel like that's generally what I go for when I'm going for the vinyl, is just some cool background music. Hey, Ann. Looking forward to see you, too. Now, the good thing about Dusty Groove, where we went yesterday, is they have such a good selection of 10 inches. I got a few others floating around here. Jazz Record Bar had a good selection, too, back in the day. Morning, Eileen. Hey, Gladys. Morning all around. Just a quick Sunday tour today. We'll do some of the Rosehill stuff that you won't see on the walking tour. Or probably won't, but I kind of freeform the Rosehill one these days. I have 2 or 3 routes, but I find that if I advertise specific routes, it doesn't help sales. Oh, look who's here. Miles has joined the chat. Morning, Betsy. Let's say come say hi properly. There we go. Yeah. Miles have been running and playing and soaking up pets all morning long. So different from other mornings. Hey, Karen. Still like 2 or 3 slots left on Rosehill today. Priya's been keeping her distance. It takes her a while to get you warmed up to new people. Well, Lily's been in quite a bit. Morning, Lisa in Kenosha. And I wish we could solve the pop-up thing, but it's a Facebook thing. It is what it is till it ain't. Hey, Mom. Hey, Kelly. And then I got a new desk chair put together this morning, thinking that a full back chair would be harder for Miles to claw me on. He immediately found ways to claw me. Just immediately. Morning, Grandma Bell. Hey, Jeanette's over at Beetlefest. Say hi to Patty for us. And hey, in the next couple of days, over on the Mystericon page, we will be rolling out all of the individual events. I'm going to be doing a couple of boat tours as usual, and also probably a couple of bus tours. I just looked up what the other bus tour companies are charging these days. Chicago Hauntings is charging $49. Chicago Crime Tours is like $47. Untouchables is like $45. We'll be charging less than that. We always try to keep our... Here at Mysterious and Effing Chicago, we do try to keep our tours under market value. So I haven't decided yet whether I should do a ghost tour and a pub crawl, or a ghost tour and an effing ghost tour to close out Mystericon. Jeanette just ate breakfast across from Patty Boyd. Ah. Well, I would skip the Rosehill tour for that, too. See you in a bit, Betsy. All right, we'll give Benny another minute or so. Good morning, Katie. Good to see you yesterday. Yeah, I mean, the walking tours are in the low 20s range. Most other places are closer to like 29 or 30. And bus tours, the going rate seems to be high 40s now. Same with boat tours. I think I can keep the boat tours the same price I had last year, at $40 flat, which is well under market value. Now, let me quick look here while Benny finishes this song. What is Wendella charging? Yep, they go 42. And they got more volume, so they ought to be able to clean things up. I know it only takes like 3 tickets for them to break even on a tour. Well, the haunted pub crawl, I guess, is the drunk history version anyway. I gotta kind of look up where the haunted pubs are these days. I don't know if I've ever played this particular Benny show before, but I'm liking this song. Adam, that's quite likely. You can at least get a discount if you bring one. Yeah, Mandy, Layla, and Patty will also be running tours throughout MysterioCon weekends, tours and events. We got a great lineup for you. And I'm not going to be doing a Graceland one that day, but Mandy is. Hey, Dad. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. What's his name there? Nathan Casevere. Yes, sir, on that old hot trumpet. Troublesome trumpet. Well, if Helen Ward does...
All right, that was Nathan on the trumpet over there. Benny Goodman coming to you live at the Congress Hotel in downtown Chicago, where we will be having MysterioCon this year. If you don't know about MysterioCon, get on the Mysterious Chicago Regulars and Miles Fan Club page. So welcome along, everybody. I'm just doing a quick morning mini tour from home today as we got to rush off to Rosehill Cemetery to do the walking tour. Eli's going to be present on this one. He's been on the Rosehill tours before, but not since Mysterians was a word that anybody knew. So, welcome along. We're just going to do a few quick stops from Rosehill virtually here, stuff that we don't really do on the walking tour on account of it's usually just a little bit too far away. But we'll go, here's the gates you will see on your way in. And once again, these are the gates you should be going into. It says that on the event description, but every now and then we still have people trying to go in on Western Avenue. These gates, designed by W.W. Boyington, also did such buildings as the Water Tower and the Governor's Mansion in Iowa. It's also buried just a little ways beyond them. Now, here's an interesting one. Somebody just mentioned over on a comment about this tour that there was one monument, there was some mausoleum they called Frankenstein's Tomb. And I don't know which one they're talking about, really. But there is, over here, a grave of Victor Frankenstein, M.D., lived well beyond the time the movies came out, was born after the book and died after the movies. If anybody ever mentioned to him in public that being named Victor Frankenstein, M.D. was weird, they didn't say it out loud. They were at least more polite than that. But he actually was a demonstrator of anatomy, so a guy who handled dead bodies for a living, named Victor Frankenstein. He actually looked like this. His obituary mentions nothing about the strange name. Well, that's just nice. He lives down in the Hyde Park vicinity, Hyde Park, Kenwood area. But also his wife, Irma Frankenstein, wrote voluminous diaries that were recently edited and published. If you go on Amazon, you can find that. They were called Nobody Famous. Somebody found the diaries in a thrift store or an antique store downstate, and she asked who it was. They just told her, it's Nobody Famous. It was Irma Frankenstein. It gives an interesting view of Jewish life in Chicago in the late 19th and early 20th century. Robert Lurzel has pictured some coconuts at the Rosehill gates. You never know. There's always all these stories in the old days about people leaving things just inside of cemetery gates, like candles that had been lit and quickly extinguished was a big thing at Oak Woods. Bits of pottery. Nobody could really explain, even when they caught people doing them. They just say, oh, it's an old-fashioned thing. But yeah, we'll put the lime and the coconut, put them both together. Let's move on a little bit through Rosehill. Just a couple of other interesting things that we don't normally get to see because they're just too far away from the walking route. Like, you will see the statue of Francis Pierce Stone that's in very good shape from back in the 1850s because it's encased in glass. But over on this other side, you can see the statue of Mattie May, which is in less good shape because it is not encased in glass. Not a whole lot is known about Mattie. We just know about her marriage to Harry May, who was a shoemaker. Her name was Mattie Swanson. This one says that he was 25 and she was 16. I think she was actually 15 at the time. That wasn't really the kind of thing that would have turned too many heads, even though we could now say that it should have. Like, just up at the top there, 29 and 19, definitely nobody would have said a word. 25 and 16 was a little more unusual, but not so much so. We also got this one with a little bit more at 24 and 16, Chicago. And really, that's about all that we can find. I think he was a baker, not a shoemaker. I've looked it up before. We'll move along here. This is an interesting plot. This is the Loeb family, as in Richard Loeb, of Leopold and Loeb, the thrill killers of the 1920s. Now, we do not know if Richard is interred here or not. He was cremated after he was killed in prison. There's always been a rumor that he was interred here. It's as likely as any place else, as all that really makes sense. But he and Nathan Leopold were both given life plus 99 years in prison for the murder of Bobby Franks, a 14-year-old kid that they really just kind of picked out at random from around the neighborhood. They'd had their eye on killing some other people, and exactly why they did this, part of the reason this mystery still endures is that there's really just not a good explanation of why they did what they did. You can portray it as thinking that they were Nietzschean supermen, that they thought that laws didn't apply to them, that they wanted the thrill of committing a perfect crime, or that Loeb was the really insane one and Leopold was kind of under his spell. And all of these things, when you dig in, that's kind of there. But nothing really explains why they just happen to be feeling that way without warning. But here's the other interesting thing, is the Loeb plot is right by the Franks mausoleum. That's just a little bit over here. Now, this was filmed in actual fall. This isn't what the trees look like right now. Isn't that right, Miles? Miles wants all the attention. Now, right up at the edge here is the Franks mausoleum, just like steps away. And Leopold is known to have visited the Loeb family plot. Would have had to walk right by the Franks mausoleum. Now, Franks was some kind of a cousin to Loeb, or one of them. I forget. I got the details written down from when I did the full tour based on those guys. I should probably bring that one back up just to give myself another crash course. Some of the minor details escape me when I go a long time without doing one of the tours. But I got other stuff to worry about this week, but maybe soon. We'll also cover just over by the front. We do come pretty close to this one. I never walk all the way over to this guy, partly because he's right in the middle of the 7th grade section, next to all the people with hilarious names. And doesn't really fit in. Right among all those guys with the funny names is John Finch, who is the head of the International Order of Good Templars. Templars is in temperance, they made a whole social scene out of not drinking. So we here at Mysterious Chicago are part of the International Order of Bad Templars. And this meeting will now come to order. In fact, there's also the Women's Temperance Organization, was run by Frances Willard. who has a monument over here. I think her ashes are interred here. I know she was actually cremated at Graceland. A lot of temperance people here at Rosehill Cemetery. But of course, not us. I mean, if you don't drink, we have absolutely nothing against that. If you want to come on a time travel pub crawl and just drink the water, totally fine. Bring some Kool-Aid, whatever. Also, we will cover one that people are kind of surprised that I don't really put on the walking tours. He's just a little bit out of the way for me. Now, once again, these are not today's autumn colors. These were all, I made a point of doing a lot of filming in the cemeteries when the leaves are at their peak. Right over here, the family plot of Oscar Mayer, who ran a deli down in what is now Old Town, and eventually became immortalized in song.
Class attention. Forward march. Oh, I'd love to be an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I truly like
This song
to
more from
be.
parodies than the actual ads.
'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener, everyone would be in love with me. A big parade is so inspiring. Oh, I'm glad I'm not an Oscar Mayer wiener.
You are a
That's what
wiener
I
kid.
never want to be.
Well, too bad, because you
But if
are.
I were an Oscar Mayer wiener, there would soon be nothing left of me. Oh, I love to be an
Oscar Mayer wieners are all meat, all good
This is
meat,
old enough, you know.
rich and complete meat
Kids
protein,
are such conformists.
mildly seasoned to bring out all the good meat flavor.
Everyone would be in love with me. Next
They don't
is you.
tolerate
Just
dissenters
a
too well here in the Oscar
refreshment,
Mayer commercial territory. These kids were probably just heading off to press the Trix Rabbit on the way. But all right, that's just some quick ones for today. We've still got a few spaces left today. Do I have the upcoming tours here on here? Nah, it's an older one. But all right, just very quickly, everybody, we are going to head out to Rosehill Cemetery to run the walking tour right now. Last I checked, there were 2 or 3 slots left on us. You can still order tickets if you can get out there in the next 45 minutes or so. Thanks a lot for joining me, everybody. I'm Adam. National Bologna Day is coming up next month. Make sure you mark your calendars for that one. For those of us who are, in fact, full of bologna. So from Miles and Eli and myself, we are off to Rosehill Cemetery. See some of you there in about 20 minutes. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day and stay spooky.